Where's
indicated
Laura Hayward?
you wanted to talk to an attorney.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Ms. Hayward, I see you up there. This is 2404396. Your name?
Laura Hayward.
I adjourned this for a week. Did you speak to a lawyer?
I did.
Okay. And have you spoken to, is a lawyer going to represent you in this case?
Not right now. They chose not to. They told me that.
I don't want to know what they told you or what you told them, okay?
Oh,
I
you
just
don't want to know?
I
Sorry.
no, I just want to know whether you're going to be represented.
Okay.
So both of these individuals, my understanding is Carol was deceased, correct?
She died in March of 21.
What do you want to do, Ms. Kolb?
Well, as I got into a little bit last time, this is a unique situation. The township received a title to the property from Wayne County Treasurer as it went through the tax foreclosure process. Taxes remained unpaid in the amount of $18,596. As your honor is likely familiar with, that is not a short process. I mean, that would be for unpaid taxes probably in 2021. So the township received a deed on August 20th of this year. There have been at least 3, potentially 4 notices to quit given to Ms. Hayward, and she's still occupying the property today on December 9th, 2024. So we're at.
Hey everybody, welcome to American Courts Live. Looks like Lena said we're lagging a little bit, so I can't figure it out. Fozzie says it's good, so that's all that matters. Looks like we're good now. We've got people in court. We're going to do a video of theirs today. Talked with her a little bit ago. She's good with that. Thank you, Fozzie. Fozzie's already throwing up the memberships. Looks like a Christmas spirit he's got there. So we're going to do the people in court video. It's a good one. It's a custody hearing with a sovereign citizen. So let's see how that one goes. Fozzie got a whole bunch of them. I don't know how in the world Fozzie gives 10 memberships, but 20 people pop up in the feed there. Thank you so much, Fozzie.
Is just we're really, really scared because based on what her relationship was with Mr. Wofford, he's a sovereign citizen. He doesn't believe in governed sovereignty, the government's sovereignty. He doesn't believe really in the healthcare system. And so we have serious concerns, not only about Ori getting regular feeding and eating regularly and getting fed. We have concerns that if Ori, as 3 months old do, gets sick or gets ill, Mr. Wofford will not seek immediate medical care.
Again, this video is people in court. Make sure to go check out her channel and like her channel and subscribe and all that. I've got a couple other different creators on here today, so just make sure to check out people in court. She's a good person.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the 200th District Court. We're here in FM 24-009348. And Ms. Escamilla, it's your client's motion, so you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm here representing Tamara Schnarr. She is age 37. She's the mother of a 3-month-old. His name is Elior Schnarr. He goes by Ori. He is actually 3 months and 8 days old today. My client had Elior. He was born on September 8th of this year. And she was in a relationship with Steve Wofford, who's respondent here, and they were living together. She recently moved out of the home that they were living together out around December 15th to get some space. I'm sorry, around the week before December 15th, around that weekend, around December 14th to get some space. On or about December 15th, She had Elior with her. She was staying at an Airbnb. Mr. Wofford wanted to see the baby, and she reached an agreement with him that he could see the baby from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. He had his adult son with him, and so he said he wanted to spend, time with his adult son and his baby. So she agreed to let him have the baby for that time period. She has not seen her baby in a week since last Sunday, and this is a breastfeeding baby. He essentially has kidnapped this baby from her. He has refused to turn the baby over. He has sent a contract to her that he has demanded that she sign, and has really essentially said that until she signs that contract, she cannot have any contact with the baby. He has sent her random text updates, random videos and photos of this kid, but she has not had any contact or seen her baby in real life or held her baby or breastfed this baby. And little Ori has never had formula until this time. We're assuming he's had formula. She was so desperate to see him and worried about him that on Thursday, December 19th, she did drive over and drop off a bottle of her breast milk so that this baby could have some breast milk. But Mr. Wofford has refused to let her even hold her baby or see him. Mr. Wofford has no legal right to this child. He is not on any legal birth certificate, and he has never been adjudicated the father of this baby. And he is holding this child hostage. She did call the police in an attempt to get self-help before she had to hire me. And the police said that it was a civil matter and she needed a court order. And we're really, really scared because based on what her relationship was with Mr. Wofford, he's a sovereign citizen. He doesn't believe in governed sovereignty, the government's sovereignty. He doesn't believe really in the healthcare system. And so we have serious concerns, not only about Ori getting regular feeding and eating regularly and getting fed. We have concerns that if Ori, as 3 months old gets sick or gets ill, Mr. Wofford will not seek immediate medical care. So we're just asking that the court sign a writ today to return the child to my client, to mom, so that mom can have the baby and resume breastfeeding. And then down the road, we can have a hearing, we can have all this heard out after Mr. Wofford has taken a genetic test, after Mr. Wofford has been adjudicated the father of this child. Right now, he's not even really the father of the child. And that's all we're asking today, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Mr. Wofford, you're here representing yourself. You received a copy of the motion today.
Yes, I did. Thank you, Judge.
Let
So,
me
yes,
go ahead and swear you in. Just
okay, good.
we don't have a record, but I will ask you to raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you will give in this cause will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay.
So, yes, I will be representing myself. I actually had counsel prior, but just based on how things went, I felt it would be best for me just to speak as the father of Ori. And so, to give you a rundown of what happened, I am the father all the way from ovulation to the birth, cutting the umbilical cord. I actually submitted a petition to adjudicate parentage and then also a temporary restraining order that was filed as I got this, the notice to appear. If you want, I can give you the cause number. And so to essentially give you what's transpired thus far, yes, Tamara and I had been in a relationship for a year, and I was with her every single appointment, midwife appointment through various different midwives, and didn't miss a beat and showed up to absolutely everything. And then her mom came out to help because the delivery was quite rough for Tamara. And then also just to speak to
Mr. Wofford, I don't need the whole recitation of the relationship.
Okay.
I need to know a response to the allegations that are pertinent to this motion. And that is that mom has not seen infant child in over a week.
Yeah.
And that you are refusing to return the child, and the child is being breastfed, and that is not happening because you're refusing to return the child. I need to understand your response to that. I don't need the entire
Okay,
history of your relationship.
Okay, I was just kind of following the other council's kind of format. So, but I'm happy to answer those questions. So the reason I decided to keep Ori was because Tamara is planning to leave Germany. Her mom is here. They're both German citizens. They've been making plans for weeks. I have it documented, and I included that in my exhibit of my filings. And so she's a flight risk for the child. I have no intention to hold him. And even the agreements that I sent over were to, hey, I'm like, hey, let's work together to figure out something, because without, like, you're planning to leave the country with our child. And I need some sort of safeguards, not only for Ori's safety, but also my parental rights. And they've been circumvented through the birth certificate when I'm the presumed father. I've been there every single day with him. I've raised 3 boys. I know what he needs, and I do agree that he needs his mom. He needs both of us, but it can't be at the expense of leaving the country. And I've done everything I can to work with Tamara. And no, he's not being fed formula. And but she's also been resisting giving him her milk, because the only reason I don't feel comfortable letting him go because I know he's safe here. And I just did a this is the chain of custody agreement for the paternity test that I just did it. And so I'm just asking the court to just give me days to prove this. And then looking at the documentation that I sent in my petition, because I am the father. I always have been the father, and I'm always going to be the father. And I understand that I need time to prove it, because they told me it's going to take 2 to 4 days because of the holidays. And so I am doing in what's Ori's best interest as his father, to make sure that he remains in the country close to his father and his mother. But I do not, like, I have evidence that she's ready to leave. Her mom's waiting for them to fly to Germany. And that's the only reason that I don't think visitation is possible, because if he's in Germany, I essentially have no access to him. Since we're unmarried, German law doesn't require visitation without a lengthy legal battle. And that's not to mention me flying back and forth to Germany. And so I feel like I'm in a difficult position. Like, I love my child. You know, like I said, he's my 4th son. I know how to take care of babies. And I want to honor Tamara. I really do. But it's like, if I give her possession, she's going to leave, because she can get a German passport, and maybe even a US passport, based on the birth certificate, even though I haven't seen it. So I'm hearing a couple things. I'm hearing that I'm a father in this petition here. I'm hearing that I'm not the legal father, but, like, we want to request child support and other things. And so it's just, it's conflicting. And so it just feels like a difficult spot. And from my heart as a father, I'm asking the court to allow me to prove it to him and give us time for this to have due course and due process.
All right, Mr. Walper, do you have a passport for the child?
I do not.
Have you applied for one?
Yes, but I put a stop to it. I put a stop to everything I could.
How did you do that?
Through the, I forget the initials, but it's like something with a child abduction, something or other. But the passport's essentially on hold right now. Or I don't know if it's canceled, but.
Okay. All right, Ms. Escamilla, if you want to respond.
Yes, Your Honor. My client called the passport office today. The passport is in review right now. So I don't know what he means by putting a hold on it. He's he has applied for a passport for this child. We have serious concerns that he may go to Bali or another country. My client is German. She mentioned going to Germany over the holidays, not to move, but to go visit family. And Mr. Wofford took this action. He never said, hey, can we have an agreement? She gave this baby to him thinking that he would honor his agreement and see the baby from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. And he has kept this baby over a week now from its mother. He has refused to let her actually hold or touch this baby. This baby needs to have formula. I just think this is kind of outrageous. I've never been served. We've never received any paperwork that he's claiming that he's filed or that he has. I think this is he's just trying to bully her into getting this child. And he has the child now. He's admitted to applying for a passport. If you'd like to take some testimony from my client about the passport issue, she can testify about what she heard from the passport office today. We have serious concerns about what his plans are.
Okay. All right, Ms. Schnarr, if you would raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm your testimony in this cause will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I didn't hear the answer.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you.
I guess, Ms. Escamilla, do you want to ask her questions or do you want me to handle?
I'll let you handle it, Judge, unless you prefer I do. I'm happy.
Okay, no, that's fine. Ms. Schnarr, I guess my first question is, have you applied for a passport for the child?
I did not, I haven't applied.
Okay. And what do you know about Mr. Wolford's application?
I remember we went together. It was, I think, December 10th. And it was really urgent and important for him that we go during the time that my mom was here. And things were already getting challenging between us. And so basically we showed up at the office, at the passport office. I was taking care of Ori. I wasn't fully present. I didn't even see what he gave the people there, the officer, what are they called? The agents to apply for the passport. I remember I did afterwards. I informed myself, and I know that I signed the DS-11, which back then I didn't know because Ori was fussy. I was taking care of him. I even asked the person, the agent that was serving us, if I could go away into a cubicle and breastfeed him. And I wasn't even aware that Steve used his birth certificate that he created himself and stamped by the notary plus an affidavit to basically not having to use an official birth certificate. And as I found out afterwards too, the passport was in his care only without my knowing. So he indicated all of his contact information and was only in his care, not in mine.
Okay. And you don't have any plans to move to Germany?
From the beginning, I suggested that I take time away. A lot has been happening in our relationship. The pregnancy, birth, postpartum, it has really taken a toll on me. I haven't gotten the support.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
That I needed to suddenly be a mother and having full responsibility over a human being. And I always kept asking Steve for more support, which I didn't receive from him. And then once my mom came here, I just felt what it's like to receive support, general support. I can go more into detail, but that basically brought up the idea of, wow, it would really feel nice to actually be with my family, be back home in Germany, introduce Ori to my family, and really also recharge from a challenging time this year.
Okay. Ms. Escamilla, anything else?
Yes, if I may, Your Honor.
Okay, briefly.
You got it. Ms. Schnarr, you are a permanent resident of the US, correct?
I am
And you've been a permanent resident how long?
8 years.
Since 2016, is that correct?
Correct.
And you don't have plans to move to Germany at this time, right?
Steve knows that I'm actually aspiring to get American citizenship.
Okay. Just so the court is clear, it's a simple yes or no, okay? Just so the court is clear, when you were talking about Germany, you were talking about going to visit your family for the holidays, just for a visit, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And then I think that's it. I think nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Anything else, Mr. Wolford? About as it relates to the child and the current situation?
Yes, and do you mind if I address a few of these points that were brought up just for clarity?
If you do so briefly.
Okay, so I'm planning on staying in Austin. Tamara and I were wanted to move to Bali and live abroad. I had no intention. The last thing I want to do is drag a child around the world. And so the intention is to just stay here, unless sometime in the future, Tamara and I decide, what's best for him and everyone involved. Also, I want to mention that, I did take possession of Ori for the last 10 days or so. Prior to that, Tamara actually hid her location from me and wouldn't allow me to see him. I did see him for about 30 minutes in that 30 days, but she essentially withheld him from me. And like I said, I in some ways I did do the same thing, but it's again because of this flight risk. And when I talked to Tamara, there was like, I just need to get away to recharge. There's no definitive date. And I know what happens when she's there. If she decides to stay there, like there's zero recourse for me. And that's the biggest thing, is that I need to be in his life because I know what's in best interest of Ori. And I want to do everything I can do to work with Tamara so that way we can provide for him the very best way possible. And I agree that she needed support and I did everything I could, but while, I'm taking care of her a lot, which was like almost a full-time job, taking care of the baby and then also working to provide. And so, and I understand that Germany might be an attractive way in a lot of options, but in my view, that's quite risky for me because she could literally just say, I'm not coming back. And unless there was some sort of custody arrangement in Germany, and that's way beyond my scope of knowledge. And I'm not, I want stability for Ori. Like I'm really doing this. I want him to have a stable life and not traveling all over the place. And it's about what's in the best interest for him. And I'm hoping the court can help remedy that.
Okay. Well, what is best and what is stable for an infant is to be seeing his mother on a daily basis, especially when he is a nursing child. So, you can agree to return the child by 3 o'clock this afternoon, or I will issue the writ. That was to you, Mr. Wofford. Do you have a response?
Yeah, what recourse is there that I get him back, and what recourse do we have? Like I'm open to having a visitation schedule, and I'm open to like having some sort of safeguard that like he's not going to leave the country.
Okay, well, I will address a couple of things on the passport because both parties have raised issues. So I am going to enter an order that if either parent obtains a passport, it will be surrendered to the 200th District Court of Travis County. Okay. If either of you receive a passport back from the State Department, it is ordered to be turned over to this court until these issues receive a further hearing. whether in this case that Ms. Schnarr has filed or the case that Mr. Wofford says he's filed, no one, I further will order that no one may leave the country with the child, period. So that takes care of what both of you are saying on the flight risk. And I do appreciate that. Bali, I don't believe is a member of the Hague Convention. I think Germany is. But in any case, it is very difficult and very expensive to return a child to the United States if they are taken by a parent who's unwilling to return them. However, I'm still faced with the immediate problem of a mother who is being deprived of a child that she is nursing. And you are welcome, Mr. Wofford, to get on the phone with Ms. Escamilla, either you or your lawyer, and attempt to work out a temporary visitation schedule. I can't do that here because I'm handling all the emergencies for the entire county, and there are others coming in as we speak. So I'm very limited on time. But first, I think you need to confer with her and see what can be worked out. I fear based on your actions, there's going to be some hesitation to work with you. But she knows her client and the facts and circumstances of the case. And she knows that in a week or two, there will, in all likelihood, be a temporary orders hearing. And she knows what a judge is likely to do at that hearing. So it might make sense to get that worked out by agreement in advance. But I can impose it upon you. So I ask again, Mr. Wofford, after having made the rulings about the passport, prohibiting both parties from taking the child outside of the United States, will you agree to return the child today by 3 p.m. to Ms. Schnarr?
Yeah, is that so essentially I give Ori back to his mom by 3. Actually, can you make it more like 5?
No.
No?
If you don't agree to 3, I'm going to send law enforcement to come and get him. That's the alternative.
Okay. Yeah.
And I don't like the alternative. Let me be very clear. I am reluctant to get law enforcement involved. However, I need you to understand what you've done is not okay. It's not okay. It's not in the child's best interest. And under the law, you currently don't have any parental rights. You're not married, so there is no presumption of anything regarding you. You are not the presumed father. And if you were married, that would be different, but you're not.
Mhm.
And that's just the law, Mr. Wofford. I don't make the law, but I follow it every day. That's what I'm here to do. So you can agree to 3 o'clock. If you don't, I'll sign the writ and law enforcement will come and retrieve him. If that is, you need to stop and think for a moment. Is that really something you want to inject into your child's life? Is
Yeah,
that
of course
really
not.
best?
Yeah, I'm not disputing that. Like I said, I have no problem giving Tamara Ori. It was my biggest concern was that she's leaving. And since you put an order to stop that, I have all the faith and confidence that will be upheld.
Okay. Then let me just clarify so I'm clear. You do agree to return Ori by 3 o'clock today to Ms. Schnarr?
Yeah, is she gonna come pick him up?
Ms. Escamilla, is that okay?
I think so. Ms. Schnarr, if I may ask, Your Honor, are you available to pick up the child today by 3 at his home?
I prefer a neutral location.
Okay, great. Ms. Escamilla, any other details we need to cover here?
Yes, Your Honor. I guess the understanding is that Mr. Wofford has agreed to return the child to her by 3 o'clock today in a public location, and the parties will exchange inside the Walgreens. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, we need to go inside? Okay.
I mean, Miss Escamilla, is that your request? Generally, that is better than the parking lot.
I agree. I would prefer that at least it's in then it's in a public location and there are people around. So yes, I would prefer that. And then if he does not sign, if the child, if he is not there by 3 p.m. with the child, Your Honor, then we will submit this written, ask you to sign it if that's okay.
Yes.
Okay.
If I hear back from Miss Escamilla that the exchange did not occur at 3 p.m. and I'm saying 3:05, she can let me know it didn't happen. The writ will issue and we'll get law enforcement involved. I don't think that's good for anyone. And I'm glad that Mr. Walford, you've agreed to go ahead and return him. And then what I encourage you to do, you have Miss Escamilla's contact information. You need to reach out to her and talk about what you raised as far as visitation and getting temporary orders in place until y'all can have a further hearing on all of the issues that have been raised. Okay?
And I'm happy to talk to Mr. Walford's attorney about that if he wants to pass
Yeah.
the information.
Mr. Walford, if you have an attorney, you can have him or her.
For this, I prefer to handle my own affairs.
That's up to you.
Yeah.
All right. Both parties are enjoined from leaving the United States with the child until further order of the court after an evidentiary hearing. Okay. All right. I encourage you to talk and try and work out the other issues, but for now, I see an agreement to return the child by 3. If not, the writ will be issued. All right. Move to Germany.
From the
Awesome. I got that mute out of the way so we can be done with that. I'm going to pause it there. That music at the end may trip me up. First, I just want to compliment this guy on the backdrop. You know, he's got the accent lights and everything's going on. It makes me wonder what he does for a living. He's wanting to go to Bali. That way they can't bring the kid back. Great job on the judge's side. She is smart about it because he tried to play it right. Fozzie made a good point about don't like the way she wants to go to Germany. Yeah, nothing in this is good. Nothing in this is great. But in the end, it's her kid. He didn't want to marry her. He didn't put his name on the birth certificate. So, you know, if he wants to do some fighting, spend some money, do some fighting. But it's going to take him years to get that one. Let's look at what else we got. Let's look at we've got let's go to Judge Middleton. Got a damage claim. We got some landlord stuff today. It was getting up on the weekend, so let's go to Judge Middleton's court.
Mr. Webb?
Yeah.
All right. Mr. Webb?
That minimizes it, but it don't.
All right, good morning once
If you got
again.
these
It's been kind of a disjointed day, but I'm going to,
Can I hear it all? They can hear it, but can't see. So this is definitely for the camera, this remote. That's just for the TV. So hold on here. Let me see something.
all right, again, thank you, everyone, for saying good morning. Mr. Webb, maybe we'll just leave it at this. I can hear you, but I can't see you. So at one time, I used to be able to turn your camera on from my end, but for reasons I don't understand, they took that away from us.
camera's disabled, see
All
that?
right,
But it's on.
all right. Mr. Webb, we are on the record. We're gonna start this proceeding. This is entitled Terry and Larry Richmond versus Cassandra Babcock and Curtis Webb. This is a damage hearing that was the previous subject of a possession judgment in this case. The parties were tenants of the Richmonds, and the Richmonds alleged that their property was damaged and that they suffered unpaid rent. Ms. Richmond, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Ms. Babcock, can you hear me?
Yes.
Mr. Webb, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Ms. Richmond contends that unpaid rent and other damage resulted in costs to them of $2,399.33. Ms. Richmond, I'm going to ask you if you'd please raise your right hand.
Thank you, Idaho Wiggles. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Thank you.
Ms. Babcock, would you raise yours? And Mr. Webb, wherever you are, would you raise your right hand? You all swear or affirm any testimony given in this matter will be true to the best of your knowledge and belief?
Yes, sir.
No.
Yes, sir.
All right. Miss Richmond, let's go through this.
Okay.
According to your security deposit notice to the tenant, rent was $2,517 through September 17th. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Ms. Babcock, do you accept that?
Yes.
Mr. Webb, do you accept that?
Yep.
Then they had to haul a dump trailer and 2 truckloads, $250. Treat for fleas and roaches 2 times, $120. Fill several large screw and nail holes throughout the house and repaint, $100. Repair front screen door, $30. Replace 5 missing window screens, $175. Is that all correct, Ms. Richmond?
Yes, it is.
As I've said before, your damage figures are always quite reasonable.
Thank you.
So you have total damages of $3,192, is that correct?
That's correct.
And the deposit was $960.
Correct.
Ms. Babcock, do you agree at a $960 deposit?
Yes.
Mr. Webb, you agree?
Yep.
So $960 deposit. How about these other items? Hauling trash to the dump, fleas, screw holes, screen door, missing screens. Ms. Babcock, do you agree with those figures or no?
The front screen door was broken when we got there. That has been that way like the entire time.
We just replaced the screen. The screen was broken out of it.
All right, well,
Right.
just a minute. This is her chance to talk. All right, go ahead, Ms. Babcock.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that had been broken the whole time. That's why we didn't use the door.
All right, anything else?
I didn't know about roaches and fleas. But I mean,
There were dogs in here, as I recall, pit bulls.
I had one dog, yes. But I never had any issues with fleas, but
What can you tell us about that, Ms. Richmond?
When we got there, the flea, we had to have it treated for fleas and roaches
And how did you determine that?
because we saw them
Hmm.
and we hired somebody to come in and do it.
You had to haul out 2 dump trailers worth of trash, so was the apartment full of junk?
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff around the house and inside the house.
I mean, we could only get so much out in the amount of time. I mean, we'd live there for, 6 years, 5 or 6 years. So there was a lot of stuff and, limited amount of time to get it all out of there. So
All right. Mr. Webbs, anything you want to tell me?
Yeah, I put the holes in the walls, hanging the flat screen TVs. I did that. I bolted the TVs to the wall. I'm responsible for that. The screen door was always broke. I put carpet in there myself. The house always has fleas and roaches. It started that way. I've rented from them for years. There's always a roach problem. We know that. It's just something we deal with. So they were there when we got there. They're going to be there when we leave. The screens, I know that they put all the screens in. I was right there while they did it. So I don't know. I haven't been there in 5 years. I have no idea why the screens are missing. They did do the screens. Every screen in the house was done. So if they're missing, it's our fault. But I did the holes in the walls, but the roaches were already there. I gave her $1,000 deposit. My lease has been up for 5 years. I paid the deposit myself. That's all I got to say. I think that,
So you weren't there for 5 years?
I haven't been there in 5 years. My lease has been up for 5 years. I've signed a year lease. They let her stay there for 5 years under my name. And now you're trying to say I'm responsible for all the damages. That house was fine when I left. The screen door was never touched. And that's just straight up. I put some lag bolts in the bedroom with a big flat screen TV. I did that. I'm responsible for that. I also did a lot of repairs to that house that were never, I'm a pretty good tenant. Everything was pretty good until I got arrested.
All right, well, and I don't have this case in front of me.
I'm a pretty good tenant. Everything was good until I got arrested. I don't know if y'all remember this one from a few weeks ago, but they were the ones arguing that if the landlords would simply let them borrow their vehicles, that way they could haul stuff to the dump. They were arguing that they had like 5 trailer loads of garbage to haul out, and it was a mess. And about a month ago, they just argued just to get them off the property, and now this is the cleanup. I'm surprised it's actually only $3,000. I thought it'd been a lot more. Thank you so much, Snoopy. Thank you. I'm actually going to do. I think I'm going to do my first members only live tomorrow. I gotta talk with the boss Kathy and see what she thinks about it. But I think I'm going to do the first members only live tomorrow. So we'll have to see how that goes. But Judge Middleton's being awfully nice. This landlord, this lady's a sweetheart. She's always been nice to people and very fair with people. So I'm automatically going to take her side, and that's rare in landlord-tenant situations. Normally in landlord-tenant, both sides are garbage. But this one here, she's always been nice to these people.
So he left 5 years ago and he continued to be on the lease?
Yes.
She's not on the lease at all.
All right, so the lease was in your name and Cassandra just stayed there.
Correct.
Yeah. They've evicted her once already. I already paid her last bill when she got kicked out of the last place.
that's not true, but okay. We're not here to
All right,
discuss.
all right, hold still. Let me pull this original case up. Let me see if it's in the queue. It should be. Residential lease file. Well, you last signed it in 2019. Apparently the rent had gone up in 65 years. So yeah, it was still operating under a month-to-month lease on the original lease.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in contact with him. I wrote him letters. We had an agreement that she could stay there as long as the rent got paid. I told him to notify me if she started letting the rent. What she did was she let the rent go when I'm about to come home. I'm home in 30 days. She let the rent go and let every utility go, and then somehow got the water turned over in her name and ran everything up to max. And I'm maxed out on everything. I'm reporting fraud as soon as I get home. I'm reporting
Mr.
fraud.
Webb, you were incarcerated.
Yeah.
And
See, now I got to pause. Thank you so much, Jennifer, the Painted Blonde, and thank you, Shauna. Thank you, Fletcher Boy. Fletcher Boy, for so long I thought it was Fleischer Boy, but it's Fletcher Boy. And it always is easier getting forgiveness than permission. But thank you so much, Shauna. Thank you so much. It just looks like everybody's turning green today. I think today you're either green or blue, but everyone here is green or blue. So thank you so much. Now y'all got me tripped up. I'm going to have to find my place again. That's all right. All right, Snoopy. I started to get the hint. People don't want to watch the videos. They just want to hit the super chats. Thank you so much, Snoopy. Let's go back on this.
all right. Well,
I
that's
contacted the village. I
The
contacted the village. The water's maxed out and then somehow got put back in her name without her being on the lease. I don't know how she did it.
water's
Everything's
not
maxed out.
Just hold on. Mr. Webb, what's your out date?
I come home January 30th. I got like 40 days.
Well, good for you.
I appreciate it.
I'm gonna take the screen door off of here of $30.
Thank you, Nancy.
But the rest of it will stand. 2005-17.
Can I ask you how much of the house was there left that you threw away? Nobody could notify me and tell me to come get my stuff out of the house. They I had to pay to have the damn house hauled off. You know what I mean? Anybody
Well, it
could have
was
called.
$250. I guess it could have been a whole lot worse.
Right. Yeah, but that's also my stuff that I had to pay to get hauled away. You know what I mean? I lost everything, and now I got to pay to have them haul it away. No one even called. They got 3 numbers they could have called and said, "Hey, grab a truck and a trailer, come get this stuff." Nobody called anybody, and I've been in contact with everybody trying to make sure this went smooth when everything went south.
Cassandra told me that you had somebody come pick up your stuff.
She left a bag of crap on the front porch and gave my clothes and some hats. She took everything. She refused to give us anything.
All right, stop.
She took the whole house.
Stop. You all entered into this tenancy. Mr. Webb, you went to the Department of Corrections sometime about 2020. When did you go to prison?
2020.
Yeah, now you're about to get out. Are you gonna be at Twin County? Or you're just gonna get parole?
No, I'm going to Sturgis. I'm going to Center Street in Sturgis.
All right, good for you. But you're gonna have to deal with this.
Yeah, I figure. It is what it is.
All right, the damages are $3,000. Let me subtract $30. $3,162. Wait a minute. $2,202 and $167.33 in cost for a total of $2,363.33. Now that's jointly and severally, meaning you could collect all from Cassandra, all from Curtis, or half from each.
I don't mind paying it. I mean, I don't mind taking responsibility for what I'm responsible for.
All right,
That's
well,
fine.
that'll work it fine. And you should make payments to Ms. Richmond. You know how to get a hold of her. I don't have, what town are you in right now, Cassandra? Do you have her address, Ms. Richmond?
No, I don't. Oh, I might.
I don't want to put on the live, just a minute.
I think
But,
I do have it. I
You
think
do.
All right, and Mr. Webb, you'll be paroling to Center Street in Sturgis with who?
My sister. It's 417 Center Street.
I'm right there with you, Pokeroo.
All right, Mr. Webb, you're gonna have some adjusting to do when you get here. A lot's happened in the last 6 years, 5 years technology wise, but you're welcome back to get back on track. But you owe a joint and several debt of 2006, 363.33. Ms. Babcock says she's gonna be responsible for it. If she is, then you don't have to worry about it. If she isn't, they could also come after you for your share of this debt.
So I don't mind pitching in, but I gave them the $1,000 that they took just now for the damages. I was solely responsible for, I lived there before she moved in. Everything I set up. They just took $1,000 of my deposit. You know what I mean? I haven't even been there.
960. All right.
Yeah.
Very good.
That 960 came straight out for me. It had nothing to do with, she had nothing to do with that 960. Plus all the other bills I got to take care of that they ran up while I was here. I mean, I think.
All right. Well, I'm not gonna get into a fight here. That my order stands. You'll each get a copy.
So.
All right, Mr. Webb, we managed to do the best we could with just sound, but thanks to the staff there for helping us.
Yeah, I appreciate it. You guys got to do what you do. I'm sorry, Ms. Richmond.
All right.
You guys
How
are good
about
to me.
when you get back, you don't come see me, okay?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I don't plan on it. I'm sorry. I just wish that it would have ended different and I could at least got some property, man. This was a whole bad deal, man. Once she got there, I couldn't get rid of her. It's just, I'm just glad it's over. I'm sorry for your damages. You guys are real good to me. You guys are good people.
All right.
So
All right.
I
Good luck,
appreciate it.
sir.
Yep. Thank you.
Thanks, Curtis.
I think if I got messed up and went to prison for 5 or 6 or 7 years or however long this guy's in prison for, I think I'd almost just rather leave out with nothing rather than leaving out with a whole pile of trash. You know, there's no way anything he had was worth anything. Maybe a diploma, maybe GED or something like that. But for him to be as petty as he was, I guess if you're in prison like that, you really have nothing to cling to. So you might as well just argue about what you got. Let's look over at Thurston County. They got a civil protection order. They're always fun over there. Thank you so much, Nancy. Nancy, cut it out. It's Christmas. You need to save some for you. Fozzie's got it all covered. So let's go over to Thurston County Civil Protection Order.
I can hear you. I just can't. It will not allow the camera to turn on.
Okay. Well, I saw you there for a brief second, but now I can hear you. Okay. Oh, there. It looks like we may have both camera and sound. All right. So, Mr. Stanciu, I was looking at my file here, and I didn't see that you had been served. So, obviously, you have notice of the hearing today. Are you going to be ready to proceed today?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. All right, then what I will do, I'll give you a brief description of how the hearing will go this morning. First, I will swear the parties in, and then Mr. Brett, you will go first. You're the petitioner, and you'll explain to me why it is that you believe you're entitled to an anti-harassment order. I'll consider the petition that you have already filed, any exhibits that were filed with that, any witnesses that you may have, or any declarations that were filed. I don't think there were any. Okay. And then after I've heard from you, then it'll be Mr. Stanciu, it'll be your turn. Same thing, you'll testify in response to the petition, and Also, I will consider if you have any witnesses or other declarations. Again, I don't think any were filed. After I've heard from each of you, then I'll make a decision as to whether or not an anti-harassment order will be granted. During the time the other party is telling me their side of things, I'm just going to ask that you please let them do that. Don't interrupt them, even if you think that you're hearing things that aren't true or inaccurate. Just keep in mind that I have already heard your side of the story, or in a couple minutes, I will hear your side of the story and you'll get to tell me your side. So let the other party tell their side. And then I may need to ask you questions just to clarify and make sure that I understand, what you're telling me, and that we keep things focused on facts and issues that are going to actually help me decide this case. All right, so with that in mind, can I ask Mr. Stanciu to please raise your right hand? And do each of you swear that the testimony that you give in this case will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Brett, go ahead, sir.
Yes. So I am asking for this protection order because an issue happened where a witness who's here today, Brenda Botez, showed up at my door, and during that interaction, Benjamin Stanciu was on the phone. And whilst that was happening, Benjamin Stanciu stated that he wished to kill me and that he would put me in the ground. And knowing that he has my home address as well as my work address, I felt incredibly threatened by this statement and would like to be legally protected in case he decides to show up at my home or my work with any intent to harm me.
All right. Is there any particular reason that you believe that he would do that?
Because I believe that he may do that because his daughter was staying with me at that time, and it seemed to me that he was under the impression that I had taken her against her will, and I stated that she had chosen that, and have spoken with multiple police officers confirming that she is safe and here of her own will. But I am concerned that as a parent that they may not believe that and may still intend to cause me harm.
Is the daughter an adult?
Yes, she's 18 years old.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else that you would like me to know, Mr. Brett?
No, sir. I believe that is all the information.
Okay. And do you have any witnesses or anybody else who you want me to hear from?
I do not.
Okay, very good. All right, then I'm going to hear from you, Mr. Stanciu. Go ahead, sir.
Your Honor, there is just about everything you said is true, other than the fact that he's been threatened. I mean, we are concerned for our daughter. Our daughter, the reason why we showed up at his porch, or I didn't, but Brenda Botez, the witness, did, was that our daughter 2 months ago wrote a suicide note based on this individual. And so we were a little concerned about her. We wanted to lay eyes on her. We actually called the police to meet us there. They never arrived in time to ask us to leave, and we did. And so I have no ill will toward Brighton. I have no idea who he is. It's the first time I've ever seen him in person. It's the first time I ever heard his voice. And so I had no idea his address until he laid it on this petition that he laid to me. My witness never even provided me with his address, nor did I have any intention of going out there to meet him or see him. We were just looking for our daughter. We were a little bit concerned about her. A couple officers did come by his house a couple hours later and called us and let us know that she is there and that she is there with her understanding and wanting to stay there. We told them that was fine. She's 18 years old. There's nothing more we can do. I mean, they're going to have to figure out the hard way the decisions they're making right now, and turning their back on their family is going to be the cause of a serious issues in their lives. So we're going to allow her to do that. I mean, there's nothing more we can do. We've attempted everything we possibly can to show our daughter and bring her home, and she's chosen a different path. So I have no ill will towards Brighton. I have no intention of ever seeing him. Hopefully, he never comes back here. But I will say, Your Honor, he did show up at my home and removed items from my home with my daughter. I didn't appreciate that. The day before he filed this, he showed up here with my daughter to pick her up, I'm assuming, and started removing items from my home. But I do not know him from Adam as of from today. And so that's pretty much my testimony. And I wish him the best of life, but that is what it is at this moment.
Okay. And then is Brenda somebody who you had come in here to testify for you?
She was the one at his porch. She is Aubrey's mother.
So it took me a second to figure out how to unmute and mute everyone, but I got Kathy. Hey, Kathy. Hey, Kathy. Hello, Kathy. All right, we can hear Kathy laughing. Hey, Kathy. Kathy, can you hear me?
Hey guys,
Hey.
am I unmuted?
Yes.
You might want to just mute me.
You are unmuted. How are you doing?
You can't hear me?
I can hear you. Can everyone hear Kathy?
Delay.
Kathy?
There's a long delay.
Okay. Let's say long delay. I don't know how to get rid of a long delay. Sounds like I'm trying to get a horse to go faster. Long delay. Let's see. Okay, it doesn't show me any options for that. Can you hear me at all?
I can hear you. It's just a long delay.
Okay, well, how about this? You do all the talking, and I'll just nod my head and smile. How about you do all the talking, and I'll just nod my head and smile.
Just laugh, belly laugh.
Yep. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing great. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. I love the clip you started with. I just did. I want to see it again.
Yes. The one people in court.
Yes, people in court. She does such a great job.
Yep. I sent her a message in Discord, getting her blessing for putting it out, and it took a little while, and then finally she responded. And I was like, oh, thank goodness, because I was going to do it anyways. It's just always better to have their blessing on it.
Yeah, as long as you give her credit, she's usually fine.
Yeah, she's great. All right. You want to say anything to anyone?
Say that again.
You want to say anything to anyone? Like tell.
Hi, Vibers. We need Bill's crew to have a name. Guys, we need to think of a name for Bill's crew. Like Vibers. Start thinking about that. Merry Christmas, guys. It's so good to be here with you guys.
Me and Jay used to go back and forth on names, but we never could have any that didn't have curse words in them.
You don't get to pick the name. They will. I didn't get to pick the name. They did.
Well, Vibers works great though for you. It's almost natural.
Yeah, I liked it. I'm glad they didn't come up with something worse.
And even my wife came up with Judge Court 5 on court vibes. And so
nice.
So my wife even thought that Court 5 took their name based off you.
How is your wife? Is she ready for Christmas?
She is. We don't talk
You
this
took
time of
that
year.
vacuum back?
No, we don't talk this time of year. I normally make her mad a few days before Christmas, and we make up right around the beginning of the year. It saves us a ton of money.
That's awesome. That's what I do in life. I got into many fights over Thanksgiving so I can cruise through.
Absolutely. So we're going to jump back into this one. This one's a neat one. The young lady in the top, she gets to talk. I think she's got her headphones on. I don't know if it's to keep her from hearing, but she's got headphones on, so she'll jump in there in a minute. I just got to find the start button. There we go.
Okay. Is it Brenda Botes? Okay, can you turn on your microphone?
Oh, can you hear me? Sorry about that.
I can. All right. Before you testify, let me have you raise your right hand, please. Do you swear the testimony that you give in this case will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, and Ms. Botez, what would you like me to know?
Yeah, I mean, agreed with Ben. He didn't make any threats, and I think in the heat of the moment, again, I was there. I showed up at Brighton's doorstep. I had her dad on speaker. We were concerned because Brighton took her away. Well, we came to find out Brighton he drove all the way to Kalama from Olympia to pick up Aubrey and then bring him back to his place of residence. So like Ben said, we wanted to lay eyes on her, make sure she was okay. She wouldn't come to the door. She wouldn't answer. So we were concerned for her safety. And I made the call to the police department to come out and just do a welfare check, which they eventually did later that evening. But again, we're parents. We were concerned. Ben lives again in Kalama. He works in Gresham, Oregon. You know, he's over 100 miles away. There's no risk of any type of issue happening.
Okay. And what's your relationship to Aubrey?
Yes, she's my daughter. She's my firstborn, only girl.
All right, understood. Okay. All right. So when you were, I just have a question about the circumstances of that gave rise to this. So you were on Mr. Brett's front doorstep, basically.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. And tell me how it is that Mr. Stanciu was able to communicate with Mr. Brett in those circumstances. How did that work, and how did it come about, and what was said?
When I approached the door, I had him on speakerphone on my cell phone, and so that was it. That was the only way they were communicating, if you would call it that.
Okay. Now, Mr. Brett said that. Well, I'm going to go to that part of the petition here because I don't want to get it wrong. There we go. Okay, this is what Mr. Brett said that Benjamin said. He said, "You have no idea who you're dealing with. I will put you in the ground," followed by, "I will kill you." Did you hear words like that said?
Absolutely not, Your Honor. I did not ever hear those words come out of anyone's mouths. No, those words were never said.
Okay. So from your point of view, though, what was said?
Well, honestly, Your Honor, I was the one talking and I couldn't really hear anything that Ben was saying on the speakerphone. It was like the back and forth conversation between me and this gentleman, and I was calling for my daughter. I honestly, I was calling him names because I said that he was a predator because, you know, he started dating my daughter at the age of 17. He's in his 20s. I thought, you know, so whatever he claims he heard, I don't understand because it was me mostly talking to Brett this entire time. I told him what he was doing was wrong. I told him that how many children did he raise, that he had the audacity to come and take my own child away, and you know. So to be honest, I'm surprised Ben was brought into the picture at all.
All right, thank you. I appreciate that. All right, Mr. Stanciu, is there anything else?
No, not at all. It's sad that it's come to this. I feel bad that we're trying to use our court systems to be honest judge against us just to keep us away from our kid. It's a little hard to take for sure, but we'll kind of lay at your mercy to find out what's going to happen next.
Okay, thank you, sir. All right. Thank you both. Thank you all three. And I think I have what I need to decide this case. Now, you know, obviously a situation like this is fraught with emotion. Parents are understandably concerned about their child, even when their child's 18 and technically an adult. That doesn't mean that they stop being concerned. You know, anybody who's a parent knows that. Sometimes, you know, in a heated moment, people will say things that they calm reflection would never say and certainly wouldn't mean. But that's the reason we have hearings like this, is because when these cases are initiated, the court only hears one side of the story. Hearing like this, obviously the court gets to hear all sides of the story. Now, I made the decision I did in the case initially out of an abundance of caution. I think that was warranted, but listening to all of you and what you have to say here, it sounds to me like, one, I'm not really convinced by a preponderance of the evidence that there was any meaningful threat or true threat issued. And two, there was no course of conduct. In other words, in a harassment case, in order for anti-harassment order to be granted, there has to be a course of conduct directed at a specific person, and a course of conduct means something more than a single incident. And in my view, after listening to what you all have told me, this was a single incident and not a course of conduct. So based on the lack of proof of a course of conduct and my inability to find by preponderance of the evidence that a significant or real threat was issued, I am going to deny the petition for an anti-harassment order at this time. So things might be different if there were to be a course of conduct, but as of now, with the evidence in front of the court, I don't see one. So at this point, there can't be an anti-harassment order based on the record. Right. So that will conclude your hearing for.
Okay, so did you hear that she said it was her 17-year-old kid?
Yep.
I would have thought she was 17. I didn't think she had a 17-year-old.
Well, maybe she started early.
Yeah, but even still, if she started at 13, she'd still be 30, and she looks young for 30.
She does look young for 30.
And so I'm going to try something. Let's see if I can fail twice. So when everybody's talking about a name for the channel thing, Jennifer's got the Billy's Bullies. The one that we had come up with was, did you hear that? Did it beep?
A beep, yeah.
Okay, so we'd come up with and everyone we come up with was it was funny, but it just certainly wasn't appropriate. And so we got to come up with something. But I'm just I'm trying to think, what's the word for prude? What's a square? And so yeah, because I go into Discord and I see the stuff going on in Discord, and I'm like, I got to get the heck out of here. This can be used against me somewhere. And so
they will come up with a name. I'm telling you, you don't have to do any work. You don't even have to think about it.
Yeah. Victoria.
I can't see chat right now, so I don't know what they're coming up with, but I bet you it's something really good.
Okay. Can you see the screen? I'm just saying, can you see the screen as in what everybody else can see?
Yeah, I can if I put my glasses on.
Okay. Well, the only one that matters. Oh, and of course it disappears. All right. So here's this is the only one that matters. I live my life just waiting for Victoria to insult me or make fun of me.
I love Victoria. I love her.
And so like to be, Jane says, so like to be called like when you raid. I don't know what that means. I get so confused on chat. So how about this? I'll do what I'm comfortable with. Let's just go to another court thing. Here's another landlord court. That was what I was finding also. Here we go.
No problem. I just need these questions answered. Was January she only paid $800?
Hold on a second.
I can hear you. I just can't.
I got to get you back. So how we do
Get
this
me
here?
back.
So how we do this?
I'll
here
get
is we
you back if you get me back.
Absolutely. So how I have to do is I have to put you in all scenes that.
No problem. I just need these questions answered. Was January she only paid $800 January this year?
Yeah.
Okay, and so she had a balance?
Yep.
And then in February, she paid $1,000, and then she paid $500, and then she paid $50. Is that correct? So then she had a credit at that time.
Do you want to hear a fun fact about this courtroom? I'm not getting political. I'm not. I'm just telling you. This judge took care of the election worker, the fake election people when they signed the fake electoral votes. She did this. She did their first hearing. Interesting. That's it. That's all I had to say.
Of course, I was on mute again. So, was it Republican or Democrats on the fake election thing?
Republicans.
Okay, so they were putting in fake ballots?
No, they were the electoral votes. They signed the fake electoral votes, not voting, the electoral votes. You know,
Okay. Yeah,
the
the ones that
200
actually matter.
Yeah, the ones that matter. Yeah, they you know how a whole bunch of states did some fake ones. They had
Yeah.
fake people. She had them in front of her, and they were elderly, and they were like in wheelchairs and things like that. I had it. I might still have the clip somewhere. I didn't play it because it was too, you know, it was too controversial, so I didn't play it. But I think I have it somewhere.
Well, let's. You can do it as members only, or you can send it over to me, and I'll act like I found it and be excited about it.
If I can find it, I will play it because it's a whole group of Karens
Yes.
in front of this judge.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I enjoy stuff like that. In the end, my argument with politics is who cares about them. You know, I know Victoria's a big Republican, but you know, I try to be neutral on my politics. Take that, Victoria.
She's gonna get you. She's gonna get you.
All right.
I'm
Well,
scared for you.
this one here, the person's nitpicking and arguing about their landlord tenant stuff, and the judge takes care of them. So this one's an interesting one. I don't think I ever see the person that they're arguing with, but she gets them pretty good.
Then going into March, it looks like she didn't make any payment in March. And then in April, she paid $600. Nothing in May. June, $600. And then she's not paid anything since then. Is that your position? Okay, that's all I wanted to get clarification. Okay, raise your right hand, ma'am. Thank you. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes, I am.
Okay, what is your lawful defense as to why you've not paid the rent?
My lawful defense as to why I haven't paid the rent is because there were repairs in the house that I was speaking with Ms. Lee about that were not fixed. I have pictures and I also have text messages. I had
Repairs to what?
I'm sorry, what was that?
What were the repairs? Other
Yep. Oh, I was trying to figure out what you're doing. I thought you was waving.
I was putting you on my finger.
Okay.
evidence of a defense to why you believe that you don't owe this money?
No, ma'am, I've given you everything I've brought with me today.
Okay. Did you have any, do you have to question her?
Yes, I will question. Of course. Yeah, she on the witness stand?
She can stand right there, that's fine.
Okay, all right. Miss Kenny, let me ask you questions. Did you sign the lease? Yes, I did. Okay. Did you have any objection as to the evidence we admitted in December the 4th, 2024, when we had the first hearing? Wait, like, what do you mean, do I have any? Well, we presented your, all the exhibits that we have. Did you object? No, anything that I objected, I stated in the. Oh, okay. All right, so you then as you say, you live on the premises since the lease was signed until today, is that correct? I haven't been staying in the property since August 22nd, ma'am. There's a red tag on my home. And my children have been staying in hotel rooms. Since August 22nd, is that right? Correct. Then, can you tell us when did you stop to pay your utility bill?
What do you mean?
The consumer energy, since you started.
My
to
consumer
say that.
energy is,
So Pokeroo has a good question here. Why do repairs not fixed have to do with not paying the rent? That's so often an excuse but never works. How long have you been hearing that one, Kathy? I think you got yourself on mute. I won
F
that
that
one.
mute. F
Yep.
that mute. No, they're two separate things. It's the same with like child support and visitation. They're two separate things. If you need repairs done, you have recourses to get repairs done. If the landlord's not doing it, then you can get a lawyer and you can get that taken care of. But rent, you have to pay. You're living there. You have to pay your rent. They're two separate things.
Yeah, if you don't agree with it, take it to court and get it done, but put your money in escrow. That way they know you're just not being cheap. And I think you get a lot more done by putting the money there, because then the landlord doesn't have the excuse that you're just trying to get out of rent.
Yep.
And we don't have to worry about things like heat here in Florida, but I know I rented a house and the refrigerator went out and the landlord wouldn't even answer texts or calls or anything. And so we bought another refrigerator and just put it on the put it on the rent. So we sent the rent minus the refrigerator and never heard about it. We rented for 3 or 4 years and had a good relationship with them, but they showed they had no interest in caring about the house, and so we kind of made those calls. And I wish I'd have known more then. We'd have went about it a better way, but they worked with it. And they were out-of-state renters. It was just somebody renting a house to us, and so
It's hard to find a good renter. It's so hard. So once you find one, they do work with you to make sure you stay there.
Yeah. And we, like I said, we stayed there for years. My job causes me to, move from area to area. Like the place I'm living at in Florida, we have no family here. We have no relation to anything here. It was just that's where the work was. And they've actually, right now they're debating on whether I move to Spartanburg, South Carolina or Atlanta, Georgia. And either way, we're going to keep our house here in Florida. They'll just have to pay for an apartment in one of those towns. And so, I'm getting too old to keep moving everywhere. They can get an apartment, but I'm not gonna move everything. My wife, most of the time, moving gets stuck on my wife because I'll be busy working, and she'd get stuck with it. And I think the last time she moved, she had to move, I think, 4 or 5 cases of ammunition, thousands of rounds in boxes. And she's like, "No, we never even take these out of the boxes. I'm not moving them from one place to another. If we're gonna have a bunker, we're gonna have it at one place."
I hate moving. I hate it. I can't stand it. So I hope I never have to move.
I think we'll do it one more time. I think we'll do it one more time to get back to where, to the part of Florida where we're from. But that'll be it for us. We got to stay close enough to our oldest daughter's pregnant with her first grandkid, so we got to be close enough for her.
What did you do?
What's that?
When is she due?
I don't know if it's a boy or girl.
What month is she due?
Next year sometime.
Next year sometime.
Yeah. All I know is it's a kid. It's a kid. She was wanting to talk to me about it this morning. I couldn't be bothered with it. I was asking her about a movie that she saw that we just got, but she wants to talk about the kid, and that's between her and my wife. But no. The answer is the end of April of next year.
Nice.
And I know that because she was born. This daughter was actually born during the Columbine incident, during all that stuff going on in Columbine. We were watching that on the news as we were bringing our first kid into this world, going, "Oh, this is what we got to look forward to." And
yeah.
But
I was watching football when mine.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. And it's funny. My real father, my mother explained he was out stealing a boat when my brother was being born. He was burning a church when I was born.
Oh my gosh.
And she doesn't even know where my sister or my little sister don't even know where he was when she was born. So I at least won that one. I was lucky enough to be there for each of my kids being born. So I'm happy with that.
I was there for my kids when they were born too.
Awesome. Were you?
No, it wasn't awesome. Nope. I didn't want to be there.
No.
Nope.
No. Did you hear the first guy in the first case? He said he was there for the ovulation.
Yeah, whatever. Yes.
Yep,
Yeah,
absolutely.
he was there for the ovulation and the cord cutting.
Yep.
Please.
Absolutely. He did all the hard work. I think the biggest
He
question
did.
I had was he said he wasn't feeding the kid formula.
That was a huge question. Okay, when I heard that, I started Googling right away. And yes, you can buy milk. You can buy milk online. You have to get a prescription if it's over X amount of liters or milliliters or something. I don't know. I read it. But they said be careful because buying milk online is not safe.
Well, so what keeps the junkies from selling milk? What keeps the creeps from buying the milk?
I don't know. I have no idea. I just know that you can do it.
Yeah. I don't know. I know Donald has some memberships to some sites where you can do that.
I bet you he gets the milk himself sometimes.
Thank you,
to sell it.
Maria. Thank you, Maria, so much. And thank you, Idaho. I saw that you slipped in there another 5 memberships, Idaho. Thank you so much. And thank you,
Yay.
Maria.
Thanks, guys.
I can't pronounce your last name, Maria, so I'll just say Maria Z. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I mess up so much. Like that name there, I keep Sienna. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. Or
Yeah.
right there. I think it's Shauna. I'm almost certain it's Shauna.
It's Shauna. They got me last night on that.
Okay.
It's Shauna. I said Sienna.
I'm still going to call it Sienna.
Me too.
Look, she made us all learn Rivette, and then she was going to change it to Sienna. So that's on her.
If you want us to pronounce your name right, change it to Bob, and then we can't mess it up.
Absolutely. Still no membership for Donald. Yeah.
Poor Donald.
Yeah. So Allie, so of course I got to bring it to my friend, court addict ATX Allie. She knows the hookup of women selling their breast milk.
Of course.
Yeah. And so, yeah. So I don't know about that stuff. That stuff's out of my world. So I'll just have, maybe he hired a wet nurse.
Maybe. He could have.
And Jennifer saying, I'm sure he has a pinch card. And so I don't know that if you have a legitimate need, if you're legitimate, like got a real need for it, it makes sense. But it seems to me like the ratio of creeps or people with bad intentions would be skyrocketing on that.
I mean, it's milk. So it's just milk.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess what I'm saying is I'd be scared of my kid getting milk from someone with drugs in their system.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I don't know. I just don't know how that would work.
They can drink beer.
Just beer. So, well, let's see if we can get through this one. Let's see if we can get through this. I've been an hour and a half. I don't do those long streams like you. I gotta get out of here quick.
Was cut off. They came and red tagged my home on a Tuesday. My consumer energy had just gotten cut off.
And of course, Sally Port comes in strong. Hey, Sally Port, thank you so much. She is the she is the official caboose. Thank you, Sally Port. Love you.
Right. So you mean this since the property was in red tag in August? There's no utilities in home right now.
Okay.
No one's
Is that what you're asking about?
No, my question was, because the defendant just stated she stayed on the property until August 2026.
Correct.
Is that right? But your utility bills continue to run until the 2024, is that correct?
Yeah, once the home got red tagged, then yeah, the utilities got cut off. I was staying there, so I didn't see why I would continue to keep.
All right, so
paying
it's,
extra bills
before the utility was, before there was a problem with before the house was red tagged, did you ever fail to pay the utility?
Yes, that's how my pipes bust.
Okay, all right, can you please tell the court, why didn't you pay the rent?
I didn't.
Well, I think she just answered that.
Was that because the tenant the landlord didn't do the repair you asked?
Correct.
Okay. That's all, Your Honor. Thank you.
Did you have any further argument, Ms. Pye? I think I know your.
Yes, I do.
I know your position. I know her position. I'm ready to roll.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
I reviewed the evidence. I don't believe she has a lawful defense. I do believe that there was some issues that probably need to be addressed This hole would be concerning, it looks like a break in the concrete, I'm not sure. However, the damage that I'm seeing stems largely from your negligence, Ms. Kinney, and not the negligence of the landlord. The pipes bursting was caused by your negligence. In addition to that, the stove issue was caused by your negligence. And so you don't get to withhold your rent because she didn't take care of those issues. She may have been inclined to repair or replace the stove and some of those things. It could not have, maybe she didn't do it because rent wasn't up to date. Maybe she didn't do it because she believed you were supposed to do it. And maybe if rent was up to date, she would have still done it and then billed you. I'm not sure, but I can't hold her responsible for replacing a stove that you set on fire by your negligence. I also can't hold her responsible for you withholding the rent because you didn't have your utilities on. You left the property unheated in the dead of the winter in Michigan, pipes burst, causing property damage that she now has to pay for. And the property is red tagged now because of that pipe issue. Her trying to get the repairs done, left the pipe area exposed, and that's not safe for you and your child. So yeah, the property is red tagged and now you can't live there. But unfortunately, it was red tagged because of actions that or inactions that you took that caused the property to have some damage. So you are responsible for the past due rent. A judgment will be granted in favor of the plaintiff for the past due rent amount.
Thank you.
Thank you. In order.
Yes, I prepared the order, but I didn't fill in the number because I don't know which one to grant.
And I see here something about a damage claim security.
This courtroom
deposit
has the
fund,
worst
security
camera
deposit of
set up.
2,500. Is that what? I don't know what this means.
Yeah, I'm just, we would like to request that if you can grant that. And also, we would like to request the eviction be immediate because the house is already red tagged.
The house is red tagged and there's no heat or electricity in the property?
Yeah, there's no utility.
Okay, well then I have to grant an immediate eviction so that the property can be winterized.
Right.
Okay, so how long does that give me to get this?
You have items still in the property? How long is it gonna take you to get your stuff out of there?
I have a house full of things, so.
Okay, well, I gotta give her immediate access to go and winterize the property. I'll give you time to get your things out, but that doesn't mean that she can't go in there immediately, as in, I think it's supposed to snow tomorrow. She needs to be able to get in there today, if necessary, so that she can winterize the property, make it safe so that pipes don't further burst. Which could cause damage to your things that's in there anyways, if that happens. And so this is not filled out.
So Kathy, that's an important thing. When are you streaming today?
It's only 4:30. I have time. I don't know.
Yeah,
People
absolutely.
keep asking me. Fozzie asked me what my plan was, and I laughed. My plan. I don't know. I will stream at 4:30 a.m. tomorrow. I should stream today if I can get one together.
Yeah, absolutely. If you can get one, thank you, Snoopy. Snoopy, just throw them up again. Yeah, if you can get one together, we'd love to see it, and we'll make sure we adjust accordingly. So anytime you can stream one,
No. You're not adjusting for me. I'm adjusting for you.
Come on.
If I stream, it'll be after you.
Help me get out of this. No,
Just pretend your computer doesn't work.
No, this morning Fozzie sent a thing in Discord talking about, you think we can get build a stream, and I was like, just ignore it, act like you didn't see it, and then Donald responded back, fat chance. I'm like, all right, there's Donald with the fat joke. All right, let me.
Donald said yesterday. He said, "There's no Judge Fleischer on today," something like that. And I'm like, well, I can do a quickie. And I think he said okay first. And I'm like, okay, let's go. I created the live. And then he says, no, you don't have to. Well, it's already done. It took me 2 seconds.
Oh.
It's already done. We're doing a quickie. And then Fozzie was like, when do you plan on doing your next one? Because I didn't know about that one. Nobody knew about that one. We just did it.
Yep. So KS, YouTube picks favorites, and they only allow certain creators to allow memberships on iPhones. But for the rest of us, you have to go on an actual computer to do it. I think you can do it on an Android phone, but you have to do it on a computer with an Apple. They won't let you, and it's simply because Apple gets 30% of it. So let's say a membership's $1, Apple gets their 30-cent cut, and then YouTube wants their 30-cent cut. And so by the time it gets done, the creator gets a dime out of it. And so they just simply, YouTube is going to make sure they get their cut. And YouTube is part of Google, which is, in the Android world, and it's an argument between them. So it's all there. What I would rather than you get a membership is just come and watch the show, come and hang out. I can't begin to say how much that means. From the beginning, seeing Nan from the beginning and seeing her now, that's awesome. Getting to see some of the other ones out here, that's great when you can retain them. When you can retain a subscriber and someone that's going to watch your stuff for that long, that's awesome. I've got to see Sally Port for several months. That's just awesome. Lena says she can do it on her phone, so I know Linus has got an Android. She's got a Pixel, so she can do it there.
So do I.
And what's awesome is like Beverly. So we go in this big YouTube world that's international and all this other place, and then you run into people that live right down the road or in the next town from you. And that's just awesome. Yep. And so, Fletcher Boy saying Google products will not let you load iTunes. Yep. So we'll just enjoy the crowd. KS, try to figure it out or get a hold of me and I'll help you figure it out because I'd love for you to be part of the members only. I think on the members only, I'm going to just kind of talk about some of the internal stuff on the channel, some of the stuff that's just kind of in with the group. But if someone's just coming in from the outside, I don't think they'd understand some of it. What's that, Kathy?
I'm sorry, my dog was barking and I forgot I was not muted, so I was just apologizing.
Oh, no, it's funny. I've got my little dog in the background. She's just randomly barking too today. I think Eileen had mentioned people doing fireworks for the Christmas. And so
fireworks for Christmas? That's crazy.
Yeah. I know they do fireworks here. I don't know where Eileen lives, though. I don't know where she's at. But yeah, they do fireworks here. It's either that or random gunshots here. It all depends.
No, my dinner's here. I got dinner. So my dog is barking at it at the delivery.
Oh, your food's there. Go get your food. I'll wait.
It's fine. No, it's fine.
Oh, it'll be frozen by the time we get done.
I'm a server. Everything I eat is frozen. Even when I'm home and I order dinner, I'm working and then I get it later and it's fine. Okay. This is normal for me.
Okay. Look, I certainly don't want to be anything special for you.
You're very special. Ask your mommy. Ask her.
No.
You're very, very special.
No,
Bill.
I don't. Let's not talk about mommy on Christmas Eve.
Oh.
I'm trying to think of who I sent. I think it was Micah. Me and Micah were talking earlier, and I was just talking about something. I was like, look, I didn't miss my mom when she died. I didn't miss my dad when he died. I miss Jay.
I miss Jay.
And so, absolutely, every once in a while, one of those friends comes along, and it just hits. Yeah. And this has been one of those years. I think everybody's lost somebody or two or three. I know Lone Wolf lost Dreams and Wi-Fi, his moderator, and so it happens. It comes like
Tommy
that.
B was this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And he was just the nicest guy. I always call him a kid, but he was probably my age or older. But me and him would just he liked to. Tommy V was always real self-conscious about his typos, and I always told him, I was like, we always make typos. That's just part of the thing. If I put out a video after midnight, I can be assured that it's going to have some horrible typos in it.
Yep.
And every time he'd have a typo, I'd have to say, look, I'm going to mess up this word. I'll do it on the title just for you. And then he'd laugh and cut up about it because he knew that he'd have that typo in there.
I just messed up. I messed up Christmas on my thumbnail. I don't care. I'm not fixing it. It's there. It's staying there.
No. What I realized is I think there was one time I did Court Addict with ATX Addict. And it worked out just fine. No one cared. And so, people don't understand how many things you're trying to do at the same time.
Yes.
It's like, yeah, I'm trying to make this video while trying to eat some food, while trying to watch videos to see if anything's pertinent.
Yeah.
So one day you're gonna have
And
to
then
give us.
thumbnail.
One day you're gonna have to put out a master class on how to find the odd courts, how to find the different courts.
I'll send you links. I'll send you all the links.
Oh, okay,
I'll
but
send you
I don't.
everything.
But I don't have that sort of time or attention span for them.
Well, I can't help with that.
Oh yeah, I don't have any sort of attention span like that because I can watch Judge Middleton all day. If I truly had it up my way, it'd be just Judge Middleton court watch all day. But I think I'll have as many viewers as he had if I did that. And so I need Judge Middleton type content with Judge Fleischer type views.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
because it's almost gotten to the point I love Judge Fleischer for who he is, but I almost don't want to show his content because I don't want to be associated with those scam, ones that are doing it. I'm sure you've seen the ones that are even using his logo now.
Yeah, but see, I feel way different about that than other people do. So like I'm a gamer. I've always been a gamer. I watch Twitch all the time. And it's a compliment to get a channel that is yours. It's more like a compliment. Like all those people who play Faker, who plays League of Legends, he has all kinds of people creating Faker accounts, and kids think of it more like a compliment than a scam. They don't think of it that way.
Okay, that's a different way to think about it. I think it's useless to complain about them. I think it's useless to try to report them and all that because I don't think YouTube cares. They're still making money.
No. Yep.
Most of those channels aren't monetized, so they'll give them all the views.
Yep.
And so, but no, I think my biggest thing, and I always look to Nan. And just kind of what bothers her and what's on her mind. And so I was like, look, if I'm gonna be a fighter, I'm gonna be a fighter for Nan. And I know stuff like that bothers her. And then you've got the random ones that go into Discord and they're like, hey, her Judge Fleischer, isn't with us anymore, meaning not working there anymore. And, and the whole argument is, yes, he went to court 10 for 30 minutes. And by then the rumor came out that he was gone.
And that's why I delete a lot of comments. And I tell my mods, just delete any comments that people are claiming things are true when we don't know if they're true or not. Unless we're told whether they're true or not, we delete those comments because, we don't need people spreading. We don't know what's going on. So we don't need people telling other people what's going on like it's fact when it's just not fact.
Yeah. Because in the end, if I don't see Melissa one day, in the end, my mind is, oh no, is Melissa not there anymore? But then it's, oh yeah, she was there. She was there. That loud stapling was her.
Yeah, I think it's a stamp.
Either way, it's loud. It's loud and aggressive, and she reminds me a lot of my daughter. I'm just saying, if my daughter was going to hit a stamp like that, she'd hit it hard like that, just to be aggressive.
I did watch a court video the other day where the stamp was so quiet, and I was going to record it to show people that stamps can be quiet, but nobody would have watched it, so I didn't. But I was excited about that.
Well, so Wayne County, Michigan had a murder trial that was like 3 hours. I think I got it down to. It was two guys. They pretended to be like utilities workers to get into a house.
You're kidding me because that's the murder trial I have, and I was like, I asked people, do you want me to play this murder trial? Linus was all in. Fozzie is hell no, but so Fozzie wins. I mean, because I'm trying to see where I can fit this into my stream and I can't. So it's all yours. Now it's yours. You take it and run. I'll watch it.
I think I would just put it on the video. I've edited it down to like 3 hours, but that's as far as it can go. I think I'd put it on like a video, like, maybe part 1, 2, and 3 type of thing.
That's a great idea. I'm watching it.
But as far as doing a live, I don't know that I could even sit in a live, with myself for that long. Yeah.
We're going to make you do a 7-hour member-only live stream one day.
Oh, so look at this. Put your glasses on and read this one.
There's a cat in my way.
Oh
There's always
no.
a cat in my way. Angry stamp. Yeah, that is Fozzie.
Yes. Every time I see a real good compliment, I'm like, let's see who this one is. Oh no, it's Fozzie again.
Yep.
Okay, so let's let's put out that video and see where it goes. My videos are getting around 100 views each right now, and so
Me too.
I was talking to Miss Fields and she was saying the same thing too. She was basically saying that it's just plateauing right now, and so I was like, that's fine. I'll just put out 10 times as many videos.
Yeah.
All right, so Creditor, I'll put a link to it later, and Linus. And look, if you guys see any interest in it, I'll throw it out there as a regular video. If you guys see any interest in it, doing it live, Kathy will have it. Kathy will have it because in reality, you know, the in the lives, I find that y'all watch completely different than what you watch on the regular daily videos. And so, but it was a sad trial. I'm just saying it was a sad story there, and just hateful people. I'm just the world. It amazes me how much, I see the racism I've never seen before. I see in some of the comments, and so it just amazes me. What I see in some of them.
Yeah, I ignore it completely. I delete it and move on.
Yeah. And people in court, I was talking with her earlier, and we were talking about the comments and stuff, and she's like, "Yep, just delete, and move on. Don't even acknowledge it."
Yep.
And so, all right, we're gonna finish this one up so I can get out of here. You got dinner to make dinner to eat for.
So I'll let you.
I do not feel obligated.
Okay, so there is going to be possession judgment granted in the amount of the past due rent, which was 11. I have the paper that you gave me.
Yep.
11,000. I think I accidentally gave her the paper. That's what happened.
I don't.
Oh, yeah, it's right here. Can you get that for me, please? Okay, past due rent possession judgment in the amount of 11,000, which includes court costs and late fees. It's 11,960 dollars. There was. You're saying that the amount for repairs is $2,239.81. That for the pipe bursting?
Kathy, is that pity? That's pity?
Yep, that's pretty. Yep.
Okay, I'm assuming that's the cat's name?
Yep, pay Pat.
How many cats do you have?
Nope, too many. Way too many. Like whatever you think is too many times 3 or 4 at least.
One times 2, 3 or 4. Yeah, so we've got one cat. She's probably 2 to 3 months now. And we've never had a cat with affection. We've never had a cat with a personality. And this one's kind of turned us on cats. We're really enjoying having her. And she knocks over the Christmas tree at least once every day.
Yes.
And so I don't know. I keep wanting to. Our dog, if we let our dog outside, she just runs, and we just never see her again. But if we let the cat outside, the cat's like, "Oh, I'll just hang out right by your leg. You go do what you got to do, and I'll be right back in with you."
Yep.
And so, but I don't know that I could deal with more than one cat.
Yeah, I can't either. It's really pain in the tush.
Yep. I told my wife about a month ago. I was like, "Hey, look, we're just gonna have to decide that our furniture's done for."
Yes.
And we'd got one of those cat trees, and she'll stand right beside the cat tree and try to claw the couch. and I'm cheap, and I come from a poor background, and so to me, having a nice couch is everything. And so having a nice couch and watching this little cat that's adorable just try to tear it up. And I know I can't do it 24 hours a day. I can't watch it.
You just have to get those little plastic things you put on the corners, and then they can't scratch it.
Okay, I got a water bottle.
There we go.
And so I'm that old guy that sprays the water bottle at the cat.
Not me. I just yell and they ignore me.
Yeah, I was gonna say these they only look at us if they want to acknowledge us or if they want to eat us.
Yep.
And so, but the dog goes crazy over the cat because the cat's only 3 months old and is already running the house.
Oh.
So as the dog will walk by, the cat will jump on it just to scare it. And so,
I love cats.
so KS, I've got the first cat you've got. She says she has an a-hole cat and then a sweet one. I have the first one. And so, and then she has 3 cats. And so I'm just glad this one don't smell. This one, there's no smell to the cat. And so I can deal with that. The minute my house starts to smell like cat though, it's got to go.
Oh, my house doesn't smell like cat.
Yeah.
I have one dog and that's worse than the cats.
Yeah. Then say the dog, my wife primps the dog. So my wife's getting the dog bath, and getting the nails done and all that stuff. And so I just hate spending money. To me, if it's going to cost $100 at the vet so long, wish the dog would have been lasted longer. So Saffron says her cat wakes up on my face, and if you don't wake up soon enough, oh, I'm not finishing that one, Saffron. Yep. Let's go ahead and finish it. Oh, here we go.
I saw it.
Okay.
I saw it.
Yep. Saffron almost got me to finish that one.
They did that to me a couple times too.
Yep. I'm going to finish this court because this is the last one.
Which were the good exhibits?
Exhibit 9, page 30. One house, in one time that is the kitchen upstairs, like the original, like the kitchen upstairs, but it's only cabinet. It still have the.
Has pipe still. Okay, and that was affected by the pipe bursting? Second floor vanity change?
Second floor vanity change.
Ceiling light? In second.
I believe that is, I'm not exactly sure. I just tell my guy Louis, do whatever need to be done.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where did the pipe burst?
The pipe burst in this upstairs, the first upstairs.
In the bathroom or the kitchen?
Bathroom and the kitchen too.
Oh, okay.
All right, you win, Fozzie.
Not the kitchen, but it's the.
I know what you mean.
Original kitchen.
Got it. So you got a bill here for $1,338.30. And was there another invoice?
The second invoice is there, but
Oh, I see. For
one is page 32 and page 32.
shut valve shower kit, 2 files, reroute bathroom, tub, new vanity sink, and $901.
I'm sorry.
And 51 cents. Yes.
The vanity not her responsibility. Vanity is like not draining well. I'm just repaired. Second.
Okay, so the new vanities, you said that was not her responsibility. So I will subtract the 225. That leaves 676 on that invoice. That's $2,014. And 30 cents for damages. As a result of the pipes bursting. Okay, so you have $2,014 for that and 30 cents. Miss Pike, you're asking for what now? Something about a security deposit?
Yeah, just to enable me then to keep the security deposit.
Well, there's there's a security deposit late fee per what damages claim, security deposit, late fee, and attorney fee were all there. I don't know why the damages are.
The damages are basically on the
Yeah, the damages are not, that's what my question is. Why do you have damages claim security deposit? That's not a damage.
Okay.
That's how you want to, that's what you want to use to pay for the damages.
Yes.
You paid a security deposit of $2,500. Is that a yes?
That
Okay.
was back in 2022 when this was just last.
And that's an escrowed account?
The deposit in the escrow account. Yeah.
Okay, she gets statements of interest or whatever yearly on that? Does she know what? Okay, so how much is in this escrowed account now?
Only the deposit. Only the security deposit.
Okay, so you want to hold the 2,500 to cover the damage and then refund her the rest? I think what needs to happen is she needs to move. And you have to do a walk through the property. So we can't touch the security deposit. She got to do a walkthrough, and then you can send her a statement per law about the condition of the property once she's out of there, because you might go in there and there could be far more damage than this. We don't know. It could be doors missing. It could be who knows what's going on in there. Or it could be nothing wrong in there other than the pipe bursting issue. But you still got to go and do that. So no, I can't. I'm not going to order you to have any control over her security deposit until you've done what you were supposed to do with the walkthrough and then notifying her within the statutory time frame about her security deposit and the damages. If that's done, then obviously the landlord has a claim to the security deposit after they do what they're supposed to do. So we're going to deal with possession right now and money judgment in the amount of the. You only sought money damages for past due rent per month, $1,250 plus late fees and attorney fees. So money damage will enter as well for those amount plus the damages to the property for the pipe bursting.
I'm gonna go ahead and cut it there because it's just more of the same. But do you hear her typewriter going or her calculator going?
Her typewriter?
A calculator. Come on.
Yes. Her adding machine?
Yes. Is a syllabus? Is that what the old ones are called?
Abacus.
Abacus. Yep. Yep. So, well, I think one of the things that's funny to me is how much judges end up doing the mathing of stuff.
They have to.
Yeah, but
they're the ones that have to.
Yeah, I just keep thinking that I would make the attorneys have it all laid out for me and give me, plan A, plan B, plan C.
Yeah, but they would still double check and math it all up again. They have to.
Yeah, I guess in my head, wearing that robe and making decisions is hard enough work than having to be an accountant as well.
Yeah, it is hard, but that's why they're lawyers first.
Oh, absolutely. That's one of the things I'd love to just talk with Judge Fleischer about is just about the lawyer days.
Oh man, I wish I would have seen him. Oh man.
Yeah, absolutely. You certainly would have somebody who would certainly fight for you.
Yes. Yep.
And so it's neat. I keep wondering if in 20 years Judge Fleischer is going to be like Judge Stevens, just grumpy old guy in the corner.
Yeah, I know. That would be cool. Hopefully we get to see it all.
I kind of feel like he'd look the same though.
I kind of feel like he would look the same too. Maybe a little gray.
But all right, well we're gonna go to the end of this. It's been 2 hours. Thank you everybody so much for coming out. Thank you everybody for being so kind in the memberships and the super chats and all that neat stuff. Everybody swarm to Discord and really push on Kathy to do a stream because we really need her to do a stream. And Critter's saying that Judge Fleischer's birthday is next week.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. So Kimby come up with the best answer. She said, I think we should be called billionaires.
Billionaires.
If it were only that easy.
I love that.
If it were always that easy. I don't know. Have you ever noticed Kimby's hair?
No.
Okay. So put on your glasses and check out Kimby's Kimmy's profile picture there.
Oh, yes, yes.
Doesn't she have the most adorable profile picture?
Gorgeous.
I've tried time and time again to do my hair like that, and I just cannot do it.
You can.
Oh,
Think real hard and it'll happen.
okay. That'll work. So
Have you tried smiling more?
Oh, I probably smiled more in the last couple of weeks since I got back. It's almost hard not to, because anytime you don't stream, you almost, I'm sure you feel a guilt when you don't stream.
Oh,
You
yeah.
you feel like you let them down, and
Yes.
and then whenever you come back, it's like, y'all are still here, y'all still showed up, because the world moves so fast, you just think the whole world is just moved on, and then whenever you see all your friends back, you're like, oh heck yeah, everybody's still here. So and I guess what it comes is from appreciating the audience that you have, appreciating that people are supporting you, because there's a ton of people out there to support. There's a ton of people out there, and to get credit to show up 2 days in a row, that's a feat. That's something to see Sally Port. I remember seeing her at the beginning, so it's important to see her again. Shauna, where'd she come from? I don't know. I used to have a friend named Rivette, but Rivette disappeared. And then, of course, there's the foreigner. Hey, Linus.
I got biscuits for dinner, Linus. Would you like to eat a biscuit with me?
I think Linus would. I think Linus is doing anything to get back to the United States. She talks about how great the Netherlands is.
It is, though.
Yeah, but she'd still rather be in New Jersey.
Jersey. Ooh, out of all the states, you picked Jersey?
Well, I had to pick the worst one. See, I heard that you live near Hershey.
Right down the road. I go there all the time. The whole town smells like chocolate.
Yep, I've been there a few times. It smells like peanuts to me. I'm not just saying the times I come there. I guess because they've got the peanuts and the chocolate stuff. In other words, the different products they make.
I mean, okay.
Well, I'm just saying, with you being around it, I live near paper mills. All the paper mills smell like baby diapers. So
yeah.
So I'm just saying that you having that strong smell of chocolate, it's just, I guess you can say that rich of a chocolate is a different different smell than the chocolate you end up getting at the store.
Right, it is.
And so, but it's
so it smells like cocoa, I should say, and not chocolate.
Yeah. And that cocoa it's just a stronger smell. It's just like I do, Debbie. I throw you stuff up there all the time. Debbie doesn't think I love her anymore. I do.
Donald said that to me yesterday. Kathy doesn't love me. She's not showing my comments. Yes, I did.
Yeah. The ones that don't get the comments shown up is a lot of the moderators. A lot of times like with Linus on her comments, I love her comments, but I kind of see her comments so often. I try to, you've only got so much time during the stream. And I know whenever I first started the stream, it was, I got to get everybody's comment in there. So it was like, bam, 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 bam. And, you didn't have time to read anything.
No.
And so Fozzie's done messed up. He didn't think I said peanuts. but no,
oh boy.
Yeah, and then like Fletcher Boy's talking about downtown Nashville smells like booze and toilet. It does. It truly does. I love downtown Nashville. There's nothing more beautiful than Broadway on a Saturday night, but it smells horrible. It smells horrible, and it's just that much beer poured out on the streets. So there's a country band, Florida Georgia Line. I'm not familiar with them, but I'm familiar with their bar. And their bar at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning in Nashville, if you go past it, you can almost guarantee a beer is going to get thrown at your vehicle. And that's the rowdiest bar I've ever been around in Nashville. And so, but anyway, so we're going to have to take a trip to Hershey, Pennsylvania, just to go see the chocolate place.
Yes,
so,
it's well worth the trip.
Oh, absolutely. My wife would probably not leave. And so she likes chocolate.
It's hard to leave.
Absolutely. I'd have to be with Judge Fleischer at a Skittle factory. We'd have to go walking in the groves, pulling the Skittles off of the plants.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yep. And so Eileen, all of y'all who know about the paper mills know exactly what smell I'm talking about. So, and I worked around them for years and years, and so I can't smell them at all. So it don't matter to me, but anyone around knows what paper mills smell like. So you guys have a great day. Thank you so much, Kathy, for joining me.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
You always have an open forum here. Anytime you want on, you got on.
Yay.
And so thank you guys so much. Y'all have a great night.
Merry
And
Christmas.
we'll all see Kathy's stream later.
Okay, yes, sure.
All right. Enjoy your dinner.